Why does everybody bring this shit up like this is the most impressive fucking thing in the universe? Bro, like look at these feats. Why the fuck would you bring up he can bench press the fucking planet when he's doing this shit too? Like, are you for real? Said infinite dimensional statements do not exist inside DC. Rock says, how's that cancer? Let's go. This guy even admits, yo, we just had a comic curator moment where this guy legitimately didn't even read the fucking scan he provided here. Holy shit. This looks so clean. Why are we checking out Brainiac boobs? Oh God, here we go. Oh no, boys.
I'll let Drip handle.
Yo, boys, this one, man. This video is next fucking gen, all right? This video is next fucking gen. I saw just a few minutes of it, and I was like, bro, this is the most curious thing in the world, okay? But yo, I'm gonna warn y'all in chat right now. I got 17 people chilling, all right? I'm gonna warn you guys right now, okay? I want zero hate going out to Official Divine, okay? Now, one thing I don't want to do is to scare Official Divine out of the community. Because at the end of the day, I don't know anything about Official Divine or what his history is or anything along those lines. I just wanted to be clear. Look, I got no beef with Official Divine. I'm just here to talk about DC, okay? Because like DC scaling is what I care about at the end of the day. I'm sure he probably has some really interesting opinions on Dragon Ball that chances are I am not gonna care about a whole lot. Because I'm not that invested in like Dragon Ball scaling. You talk about Dragon Ball scaling and I may disagree with you, but I'm not gonna like actually care enough at the end of the day to go out of my way to talk about you or mess with your content or like whatever the case may be. So no hate towards Divine here. All right, I want that to be abundantly clear to everyone who's hanging out with me in chat. All right, no hate towards Official Divine because I don't know anything about anything whenever it comes to Drip Sauce. On the other hand, yo, Drip Sauce is the guy. I'm assuming Divine was like, hey, does anybody scale DC? And Drip Sauce, who is a notable character in the community, said, yeah, I could do that for you. I'm really good at it. I can't blame Official Divine for seeing a prominent member of the community and being like, okay, well then you can just do the DC, like the DC side of things for me. Like, that's fair. But the problem is fucking Drip Sauce is coming out here acting like he's bringing the fucking sauce when he's not bringing shit, okay, whenever it comes to DC scaling. Like, he's genuinely not, out of anything I had seen so far in this video, and I think I made it less than 5 minutes. So, let's see what sauce Drip is clearly dripped off the fucking table onto the floor and everyone stepped in, alright? Because that's kind of where we're at, okay? And now if you guys are wondering, like, yo, is this a Theromax attack? You know, actually, this is a Theromax attack. I'm pulling that shit. I'm changing the name of this motherfucker. Divine has scaled DC before, lol. He kind of downplays, but has Xeno Goku above most of DC. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off. And this is something you guys are going to see here, because I do this a lot in my Discord, where I just have these moments where I just, like, go on these crazy rants about, like, the way certain people scale. And it's, like, very, very, very irritating to me. Oh, come on now. Also, please, Santa, hook me up with a fucking mic stand for Christmas. Yo, this guy's mainly on TikTok, Drip Sauce. I've heard a lot about these idiots saying, like, Drip Sauce memes, lol. But clearly, even without ever having directly been in communication with all of this action, like, dude, it is genuinely, like, funny to me. Imagine being such, like, a scaler of DC and having, like, the most ass opinions. Holy shit, I'm literally about to have a conniption, boys. Yo, I'm literally about to have a conniption over here. This is like next gen. Uh-oh, Rock says show the scans. Oh, no. Oh, my God, somebody's trying to spoil us in chat over here. I can't take it. Don't spoil me, bro. I'll have a conniption early, and then you guys will miss out on this fucking stream, okay? And we can't have that. We can't have you guys miss out on this fucking stream. Also, if you guys are wondering why my my fucking video phone is bouncing up and down, it's because, yo, I'm in a very suspect room, and, yo, I get animated when I talk about this shit, boys. So I started bumping. So I apologize. Yo, this is gonna be one of them streams I'm gonna have to turn into a video. This is gonna have to be one of them, bro. I speed shit up. But 800 years into the video already, okay? 800 years into this video. We're starting, all right? I hope you guys are fucking prepared, boys, because this is gonna be the final boss of memes by the time we hit the end. Holy shit. Okay, and one thing I will say though, I may be shitting on like everything to do with this entire situation outside of Divine himself, but you say whatever you want, the editing in this shit is fucking god tier. This is like some genuinely awesome editing. I wish I had editing of this caliber. I just focus more on the content versus the content in terms of like scripting and things along those lines versus editing, dude. I swear to God.
20 years, this matchup
Like, look at this shit.
decided the face of strength for comics and the bar to reach for anime.
Bro, this looks so clean. Definitely doing good so far. We're definitely somewhere positive. Like half of this shit is hand animated. It's like crazy, bro.
An alien who gets his strength from the largest celestial object in the solar system, the sun. As long as there's a star, Superman's strength has no.
Why are they playing like, bro, he gets it from the strongest celestial object in the solar system, acting like that's like the biggest hype for some shit.
One of the most ridiculous lifting strength feats that I've ever seen was
Facts.
Superman being able to bench press the weight of the entire Earth for 5 days straight.
Why does everybody bring this shit up like this is the most impressive fucking thing in the universe? Dude, why? Like, I mean, to be fair, it's more of an impressive lifting strength than I think anything Goku has ever done. Like, in terms of just like raw lifting strength. But why use this as like, oh my God, he's bench pressing the sun.
Septillion tons. Superman was also able to lift 200.
Yeah, you literally have feats like this, which is infinitely, or not infinitely, but vastly superior.
Superman was also able to pull billions of planets.
Or this feat, bro, it's like 8,000 feats you can use that are stronger than he fucking can bench press the planet. You for fucking real?
That he can rip apart solar systems. Yeah, top that, Saitama. Superman also lifted a book of infinite pages, which would make his strength well. With Superman fighting against beings,
yo, look at this shit, bro. Unless he's just stealing other people's animations, this is fucking unbelievable.
Superman in a fight with himself. Golden Age Superman.
And this music is fucking banger.
Timelines and shatter the space-time continuum.
Bro, like, look at these feats. Why the fuck would you bring up he can bench press the fucking planet when he's doing this shit too? Like, are you for real?
Even see them rewriting timelines with their fists. With Superman also having 1/5 of the power of the Big Bang itself, with Superman fighting against the high-intellect Brainiac on 13
Why are we checking out Brainiac
occasions,
boobs?
with Brainiac being able to destroy timelines.
Look at this animation, it's so lit!
With Superman also being able to tank the force of the entire antimatter universe.
Facts, an amped antimatter universe too.
Superman fights against Nebula Man, who is a literal walking
universe.
Superman
Yeah.
even fights against Monarch, whose destructive power was stated to be unparalleled, even comparing it
Unparalleled.
to the Big Bang. And in Monarch's fight with Captain Atom,
Was paralleled
they were
by-
literally twisting space and time.
What are these scans, bro? Divine, hook, bro, I will get you better scans.
With Captain Atom himself being able to create his own universes. But speaking of universes, let's talk about the DC cosmology and address some of the
Oh God, here we go.
Instead
Oh
of
no,
me
boys.
talking about it, I'll let Drip handle it.
Hello everyone, Drip here.
Oh God.
DC's cosmology has been overrated for years.
Overrated.
Many implications of the DC cosmology being dimensional in nature. The arguments people try to make to say that it's platonic or contains infinite dimensional
Even Morrison said
constructs
shit like that.
are pretty insane considering the fact that said infinite dimensional statements don't even exist.
Oh,
Simply having
said infinite dimensional statements do not exist inside DC. I want you guys to consider that, okay? This motherfucker really said there are no dimensional statements for all of DC ever. That is a real statement, he said. Holy shit.
claiming there to be parallel worlds and infinite dimensions.
Yo, unironically, he literally has the scan from Ramakrishna saying this to Deadman. And she's literally talking about this one. You can use the Larfleeze one on top of this as well, which separates infinite dimensions from parallel worlds. Like, hold on, I'll just find it. Let's just find it real quick. Let's see if I'm sure he fucking pulls this shit up later on and probably does the same downplay shit. Hold up, wait a minute. Larfleeze. Here we go. And the funny part is this is like two separate scans, too, from the same fucking run. Okay, here we go. Parallel worlds and infinite dimensions. So there's a difference in DC about them. Also, we have this statement here. Her mind wanders through parallel worlds and infinite dimensions. Damn. Wow, that really took me a lot of time. Dude, this took me a lot of fucking time. Dude, how in the fuck do we have editing like this but not fucking researchers like this, bro? Like, that's equivocal. It's insane.
Affirming both the quantity and the quality of the same thing, as it is a common trope used in fiction to represent parallel worlds and universes.
Okay, yeah, but they're separate. Like, how do you have a word for existence in terms of a structure outside of universe? We don't have like a term for that. We just call them dimensions, right? Because they're separate like concepts entirely. Like, that's the best we can do with our understanding of that. If somebody invented another word that was longer that you could use as dimension or for places, for dimensions without with no spatial or temporal like places, like, I'm sure they would do that. We just don't have that. We just always use that term synonymously.
Not to mention that Paul Jenkins literally debunked that claim and admitted his
Oh my god, this shit pisses me off too, okay? He's using a Twitter statement from fucking Paul Jenkins here, where somebody asked him, hey, is there infinite higher spatial and temporal dimensions inside DC? And he says, yes. You can even see it down here at the bottom. He says, yes. And then immediately after that, he says, wait, no, I meant infinite universes. This guy has no fucking clue what he's talking about. He didn't even understand the difference between infinite universes and infinite stacking spatial dimensions. Like, bro, why would you use Paul Jenkins as a solid reference as to why there's not, when this guy doesn't even fucking know? Like, that is like the worst take. I think that's the worst take you could possibly make. Yo, vibe check, where is it? Rock says, how's that cancer? Let's go. Yo, people who don't read are amazing. Dude, it is impressive that they can't read. Or when somebody can read, they use that scan even though they're unintelligent in the field.
Statement was a misunderstanding. The bleed being pan-dimensional.
Okay, and he also follows up in the exact fucking comment that he shows right here. He has to zoom in so you can't see it. Because the sole authority, he says, I am not the sole authority. This guy even admits, yo, we just had a comic curator moment where this guy legitimately didn't even read the fucking scan he provided here. Holy shit.
Understanding. The bleed being pan-dimensional is literally in context to it containing all the universes, and it has been referred to
as that's true
on multiple occasions. Another thing is
okay, this scan, god damn it, dude. Fucking Grant Morrison, his cock blocked. I don't know how many people with this fucking scan, dude. I swear to God.
Another thing is that the Platonic statements come.
Oh no, we already passed. Fuck it, we're not going back. Oh, whoa, what? What? He did not just say that. Actually, no, fuck it. We're already going back.
Containing all the universes, and it has been referred to as a hyper.
Okay, yeah, no, it was the scan. Okay, open a tunnel between two universes, passing one another in hyperspace. Okay, you're not wrong that the bleed is like the final layer of what exists in terms of like actual matter, right? Like nobody, I think, would identify that. But the problem is the bleed is one part of DC cosmology. It's just the final layer of those things. And on top of this, this is somebody referencing them, right? Like this isn't even like the real deal.
On multiple occasions.
I just have to use like the actual material.
Could simply just be dismissed as a knowledge claim. However, the truth of the
what the fuck? Dude, there's no way. There's no way this legitimately happened. Holy shit. Hold on. Guys, I have to be wrong. We didn't just hear that on this stream. That's like fucking impossible. There's legitimately no way we just heard that. We can't be that dumb. We genuinely cannot be that dumb. He really. Holy shit, dude. I might literally be having cancer. Imagine saying Batman, the guy who's the smartest motherfucker in DC, well, one of the smartest motherfuckers in DC. The guy's one of the most accurate fucking dudes you could ever imagine, and has fought with and against concepts his entire fucking history. That guy literally looks at people and knows their concepts within seconds of seeing them. This guy can figure out plans that new gods have had that occur throughout all of space and time in seconds, okay? But he's too stupid to understand what a Platonic concept is. There's no fucking way he thinks Batman is stupid. There's no way.
As a hyperspace on multiple occasions. Another thing is
and that's not very far in DC cosmology.
From Batman, so it could simply just be dismissed as a knowledge claim. However, the truth.
You can dismiss something as a knowledge claim by a guy who's knowledgeable in that field. I had to hear that shit twice. I legitimately had to hear that shit twice in order to comprehend how dumb what he was saying was.
Platonism scales absolutely nowhere and only entails
yeah, you have to scale it.
which have no universally applicable axioms to rest on, such as love, beauty, and anger. Multiple statements regarding
You're right.
the existence.
You can only go off what they do in verse. And concepts like love and hope, yeah, they scale really fucking high. They're foundational energies of the entire multiverse. Like, are you for fucking real right now?
The
fuck out of here with that shit.
Taken out of context. The almost 2,000 dimensional scan is from a computer model about a theoretical model of the universe.
These motherfuckers have computers that can map out the multiverse. Kyle Rayner's ring one time did a computer calculation that proved something could destroy not just our universe, but things beyond our universe. The calculation of computers inside DC isn't limited to the real world, like, mechanics of computers in the same way that real world humans don't have the same scaling as DC humans. Like, that's dumb, bro. Holy shit.
And I don't think I need to explain why those two factors alone debunk the claims. Another statement about
I don't have to explain why they debunk the claims. Don't worry, you didn't.
11 dimensions is easily refuted by the fact that dimensions don't explode, and the scan has
Yo, dimensions don't explode. Yeah, unless somebody's fucking exploding them. In DC, that shit happens all the time. Yeah, in Crisis Event, all dimensions explode. That's happened before. What?
Conflicting conditions, as 11 dimensions are stated to be unquantifiable, which makes no sense whatsoever.
It doesn't make sense for real world fucking... I can't scale that using real world physics, so fuck it. We done.
Arguments come from the scan where the top has no relation to the bottom, as simply talking about reading a book with an 8th dimensional Mobius curve within its story doesn't imply that that's what's being referenced in the bottom part of the scan, as he simply...
Okay, he's literally referencing, for context, if you're not crazy, okay? For context, the reason why that would be significant is he's talking about the concept of being in a comic book. And there was a lot of like meta thinking and meta concepts in that specific run, because that's a lead up to like the shit with Cosmic Armor Superman and Superman Beyond with Final Crisis. And so he's giving the idea of what are inside comic books. Why would that be important? Because the comic books that are being written are literally the other existences that exist inside the multiverse. I need to do a whole fucking video about the concept of comic books and how extreme, like how wild the concept of comic books inside DC get. Because everything in DC, every story is just art that was made up in some other universe that exists out there. Definitively at the end of the day, Earth 33, because we know Earth 33 births everything in terms of Earth Prime, even in terms of their stories. Like all their stories are written there verbatim. We've even seen characters from Earth Prime, from Earth 0 technically, go to Earth 33, which is technically Earth Prime, and literally write the comic that they were fucking in. Like, think about how insane that is. Okay, so when he's looking at concepts like that, he's analyzing those concepts across the multiverse. He's not just talking about only the comic book that is down below. He's literally referencing the fact that to them we look like, to them we perceive them as less. Imagine somebody reading our story and what that would look like. And our stories contain a Mobius loop curve, just like this comic. Like, bro, if you use basic deduction, the basic deduction, you can get there.
And he calls the world 3D, so any
yeah, and then he even references the fact he's literally referring to a comic in a 4D universe isn't going to be a 4D comic. The people reading that comic are going to be 4D, right? Or as you take that up a step, the people in the 5th dimension are going to be reading 5th dimensional comics. They're going to be reading 4th dimensional comics, because traditionally, and even in that Cosmic Armor Superman run, they talk about the fact that you have to enhance your vision dimensionally upwards to comprehend greater things.
About DC's atoms being boundless are easily contradicted by the source material. Not to mention the 5th dimension has actually been referenced as spatial.
Okay, hold on. Atoms being boundless, we just glanced over that. He's like, bro, it's debunked in the source material. We just fucking glanced over that shit. That man just took a big old bottle of pee, threw that shit in your face and said it was raining, and then ran away with no explanation. Bro, that's crazy. Okay, the first little bit.
Scan states that it isn't is literally a fake scan. The DC cosmology in of itself has been heavily overrated.
Most of the time when I dig into those statements, that's all they fucking are, legitimately, is just like, I'm hiding in the 5th spatial dimension. I'm like, okay, well, that's like fucking cool. But like, there's also 3,700 scans of the God Sphere being below the 5th dimension and the God Sphere being above time. So I'm gonna go with the majority of people who all claim this, especially in the more modern era, versus the maybe 1 or 2 guys who said it in the early 2000s. Because I'll admit, there are some moments in the early 2000s where 1 or 2 guys will say some really insane shit that's really easy, like, downplay. But, like, come on now. Fucking insane. Okay, low-key fucking insane.
Guys, I'm currently working on a massive debunk to DC's cosmology and why it actually doesn't get past 6th dimensional. And trust me, the amount of
no fucking way does this dumb motherfucker think that it doesn't get past 6th dimensional. Yo, how do you not think this shit doesn't get past 6th dimensional? Explain. Even through the lowest ball, the lowest possible ball, like low ball that you could give, they say the multiverse itself has 6 dimensions. Actually, fuck it. Let's just go find a fucking scan. Holy shit. If I don't show scans during this shit, that's like the biggest criticism of these fucking scans, or these streams, and whenever I do them, is they're like, oh yeah, well, you didn't provide 8,000 fucking scans. It's like, well, yeah, I didn't provide 8,000 fucking scans because I shouldn't have to do that just to debunk your stupid ass video in a live stream. That's something you do for like a constructed video, not something you just do on the fly for a live stream. But I mean, hey, what would I know? Actually, you know what? This will be so much easier, and it's in one fucking panel too. Okay, this will be good. This is the old Brothers 3 panel. Okay, boys? This is the old Brothers 3. It says the cosmic raptors dissipated into the fabric of reality. No doubt an alarm system should our mother ever escape the source wall. It's closing us off from the greater omniverse. Okay, so this wall was established to close off the entire multiverse, right? Okay, from the greater omniverse, which is beyond it. Using any form of fucking deductive reasoning, DC would be beyond the 6th dimension, because DC exists past the 6th dimension. Our multiverse isn't the only one who fucking exists. Bro, like, do these people really think there's only one fucking multiverse in the Overvoid? Is because, like, if you read anything in the 2018 run, you'd fucking know that's not true. Like, very easily, like, found scan right here. This is one of the most referenced cosmological, like, series of scans from the 2018 run you can. From, like, you just go from, like, I think this is, like, 15 to 25 or somewhere in there. Just read that, bro. It's like 10 fucking comics. I don't know the exact one off the top of my head, but you know what? The fact that I have to educate you on this is fucking scary to me. Like, this shows you how little this guy actually knows. But let's keep going.
And why they aren't as impressive as people think. The feat of Superman punching the World Forger is taken heavily out of context because, for one, the World Forger is weakened when he's within the multiverse.
Yo, this man just said, unironically, no way, hold up, I'm going back. I have to go back and listen to that.
As people think. The feat of Superman punching the World Forger is taken heavily out of context because, for one, the World Forger is weakened when he's within the multiverse.
He was not in the multiverse. He was in, actually, hold up. In this very panel, they had to cut shit out. I think it's in the top left corner, where it literally says the 6th dimension. It's either on this page or the page before it. I'm almost willing to bet money on that. Bro, how did you fuck this up? This is like the easiest statement to ever not fuck up.
Weakened when he's within the multiverse, and he literally agrees with Batman to align multiple stars. So
okay, now this is true. I will admit that this feat does have some level of context to it, and I think a lot of DC people will just glance over this. So Superman's stuck on this world, right, where there are no stars away from him. He is drained. He's already fought and lost to the World Forger in a 1v1 here because there's no stars. There's nothing for him to draw energy from. And so he kept trying to jump off the planet in order to make it there, but he couldn't. He couldn't get enough energy because World Forger had moved all the stars away from him so he could have fucking nothing. Okay? He legitimately moved everything, so there was no chance of Superman getting any powers. And Batman did have to move them in the way for him, essentially creating this massive constellation across the 6th dimension so Superman could fly to where they were at. Because he couldn't, because there was no power. Once he got to the first star, that's all he needed. And it's all Superman from there, okay? Now you can say Superman was amped because he was flying across so many stars, and okay, like, you can argue that to some hypothetical point if you want, but it doesn't change the fact that Superman effectively could reproduce that exact same feat normally, right? Batman didn't fucking do everything for him in that situation. Like it kills me.
Superman can pass through them in order to amp himself to damage the World Forger. So Superman needs heavy amps before he can damage a far weakened version of a monitor from the 6th dimension. And logically speaking, the monitor had to weaken himself to a 3-dimensional level to exist.
He says logically speaking, but he didn't provide any actual logic that like A, got him there, and B, like that makes sense.
The argument that concepts like weight, distance, temperature, and even space-time have largely lost their meaning to Superman, making him out-of-versal, is completely absurd, because it mentions space-time and distance within the exact same sentence, which are both entailing the exact same thing, so it's pretty redundant for them to be repeating the statement. Also, it mentions temperature and weight as a part of those concepts, which makes it clear that it's not in reference to abstract concepts, hence it cannot be out-of-versal. He even says,
yo, this man legitimately just said earlier Platonism and conceptualism doesn't scale you anywhere, and then follows up here saying that has to be the case.
Have largely lost their meaning to him. First of all, they would need to completely lose meaning to him in order for it to even be considered out-of-versal, and not just largely, and not even.
Or, you know, in fiction, some out-of-versal concepts can conceptualize themselves inside other realms. You could just use your brain. You could just, oh, as you said earlier, you can just use logic to get there, Drip Sauce. Holy shit.
Losing meaning, but losing value, because something losing meaning to you doesn't imply that you scale above it. Superman is simply saying he's gotten faster and stronger, and that's it. Another argument.
Superman is just saying he got faster and stronger by giving a definition to those concepts. A definition that he understands because he's actively broke those concepts and maintained those concepts for his entire fucking history. He just thinks Superman is like an idiot. Like he doesn't understand what concepts are, even though his main fucking opposition in the modern day is fucking Darkseid. Like what?
Is that Superman has speed that defies the common concepts of space and time, hence making him a relevant speed. But this is just
no, not the common concepts of space and time. The literal concepts of space and time. We can fucking check those things in cosmology.
Being unbelievable, and the fact that it says common concepts is just in reference to mental ideas and not abstract concepts. It literally says through special warps known to him, so he accelerates for a long time till it reaches a certain speed where he's able to warp into a different realm. The DC cosmology.
This man just said Superman is moving into other dimensions in order to travel. There's no way, bro. He's not warping into a different realm every time he fucking moves. That time Superman flew out of infinity, there was no special realm he went in. He just fucking flew. And it is curious to me you don't have any of the scans for this. And even if you do, I'm willing to bet if you and me wanted to have a scan war, I'd be able to find more scans of Superman breaking the concept of time without the negative repercussions you're talking about, without going into a higher dimension, ever. Like, I'll be able to do that. You'll not be able to take a W in that situation. Like, imagine if at one point in time in Dragon Ball, they said the universe had a length of distance. And then in Dragon Ball Super, they said the universe is infinite. What kind of a dipshit would I look like if I kept downplaying Dragon Ball by using the old scan? Why would you use the old scan? That makes no fucking sense. Why are you using scans to downplay the current cosmology after all the changes that have happened? Because it's not the same anymore. Why would you do that? It's so dumb.
The DC cosmology is way too complex to be discussed in this video, and is an entirely separate video in of itself, and the relationship between the cosmology and the people who scale to it is very complex. But I will be covering all of that on my channel very soon, as I've already scripted.
God damn, this animation though.
What
he's saying, what if it's true, boys?
And what if Superman actually does scale to the World Forger? That would mean the Bleed alone is high hyperversal. The God Sphere would be outer versal. Limbo would transcend the God Sphere, making it one layer into outer. The Monitor Sphere transcends that, making it 2 layers. Beyond this is the Source Wall, that is a place beyond thought itself. And Superman was able to shatter it, meaning Superman would be 3 layers into outer versal.
I don't know why you're saying
relevant speed. With Superman's strength laid out on the table.
I think there was some context to Superman breaking the Source Wall. I don't think he just fucking shattered it.
How strong?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have like 0 interest in seeing exactly where this is at. I'm just here to talk about DC shit, okay?
CC Goku scales to boundless with irrelevant speed. So in the matchup between the symbol of hope,
so he just got him an entire tier
above
above.
Universe,
holy shit.
The winner is Son Goku. The reason Goku wins is because Goku's connection to Dragon Ball heroes makes him absolutely ridiculous. By every definition of the word, he completely outscales, even granting Superman every argument you could possibly give him, and even times where he was amped, it doesn't matter. He still gets put in a box.
I don't understand. Goku. They didn't give any evidence for that. They basically just looked at the map and said, okay, we're gonna count the dimensions here. So we're gonna do time and space. Time is space is 1. Time is 1. Actually, no. Time and space was 1 in his opinion. And then you had the bleed at the end of all of that. So he considered all of those things one specific tier. Considered God Sphere low outer. I think he forgot about Limbo. Yeah, I think he forgot about Limbo. But like, even doing that, you're entirely leaving out like the Heroverse. You're entirely leaving out the dark matter multiverse. You're entirely leaving out the antimatter universe. They didn't even discuss things in the 6th dimension, and they didn't even discuss the foundational power sets that power all of the characters present, or the fact that they've overcome those other power sets. Like, the unimaginable wanking that's happening for Dragon Ball and the unbelievable downplay with DC frustrates me, because I'm okay if you disagree with like what exists, the concepts that exist there. If I don't agree with your scaling, that's cool. We're talking about fictional fucking history, like whatever. But when you start picking and choosing who to be biased with, that's when I'll raise my voice up against you. Because like, if you're consistently a highballer for every verse you do, I mean, I may not agree, but you do you over there, okay? Like you can do that if you want, but why talk so confidently on shit you have no fucking clue about, and then be biased to the other side? Why be biased? Like, that's the thing that kills me. It's like, at the end of the day, if one character beats another character, who gives a fuck, okay? That's something that actually loses me a lot of views. And I'll admit, when I first started, I was getting a lot of views because I was cranking out versus battles and versus scaling intent with the majority of what I did. But less people enjoy that, okay? I'm not gonna lie, less people enjoy that shit. Being objective and acknowledging where people are at, nobody likes being lied to. And the groups like Drip Sauce, they just promote basically just these cults where they believe this crazy ass shit. And like I said, if you're consistently highballing, that's cool. Just be honest about it. Be fair, be even to both sides. Because if there was any level of the generosity that they were granting Dragon Ball to DC, bro, they would shit themselves. Like, they would legitimately shit themselves. Because, like, the concepts and the higher levels you could take DC scaling by being disingenuous to this degree would be fucking absurd. I'll admit, I haven't watched Heroes. I haven't messed with the alternative content for like Dragon Ball in terms of scaling. I think Dragon Ball has some really good content. And I love Dragon Ball, for those who don't know. I'm a fucking huge fan. I actually have a video coming out here real soon about like the downfall of Dragon Ball, why it sucks ass nowadays, for anybody who's interested in that. So comment down low if you're interested. But like, I love me Dragon Ball, and it sucks to see the cosmology and everything that exists there. To see these people try to do so much with so little. They don't talk a lot about stuff going on in Dragon Ball, to the point of it being irritating for a lot of scalers. And so they kind of have to reach for a lot of this shit. Like, they have to reach really hard for some of their arguments in order to make them big boys. But that's the frustrating part about Dragon Ball. I have yet to see anything in terms of Dragon Ball that puts them past Outer in any form, okay? And the Outer comment might even be me being really generous. I'm not gonna lie. I've had a billion different Dragon Ball scalers come at me and say, yo, I've got the proof, boy. I've got the sauce, like Drip Sauce over here. I've got the sauce, boys. We can make it happen. But then I read into it and I hit up like my Dragon Ball scalers and I'm like, hey, you ever heard about this before? And they're like, that shit's fake. Or that comes from a guidebook scan. In that same guidebook scan, they say that Jiren is the strongest person that Goku has ever fought. even though clearly the gods of destruction are still beyond the mortals, like Beerus and friends. Like there's just it's just so sad, man. It sucks to see how Dragon Ball fans, I shouldn't say Dragon Ball fans because it's wrong to hate on them as a whole. It sucks to see the idea of Dragon Ball scalers take things out of context to try and make their character sound cooler than he is to win a conversation on the internet. It just really sucks. I respect people who are honest, okay? I respect people who are honest. And even if we may disagree, I could tell when somebody's coming at me with an honest intent. This was not an honest attempt. This was arguably the worst interpretation of DC cosmology I've ever heard. That guy was legitimately trying to debunk DC below the 6th dimension using a scan that verbatim says there is a 6th dimension. Okay, that's not even correct, but even an idiot scaling everything in DC based off of spatial dimensions from what Mixie said, even they aren't stupid enough to make this kind of argument. So somebody in the comment section said, what if a group of people consistently lowball? Well, that's okay. I don't think highballing or lowballing is inherently wrong. It just means that that person has a different level of evidence to them that makes them believe in a certain thing. Now, if you stretch that too far, that can get negative. Yeah, obviously you're just being wrong at that point in time, you're just lying. But most people aren't doing that. It feels like, not Divine here, but Drip Sauce, it feels like that's what he was doing. I didn't see any evidence that he provided that was new to me besides one comment about the 5th dimension, which I'm sure if I dig into it, because these kind of people always put super cropped scans in their videos so you can't fucking see exactly what's going on it for a reason. But that's irritating. But I'm willing to bet if I go and look up that story, there's going to be context to it that will allow me to just casually fucking moonwalk through the arguments that he provided here. But that was one scan. Everything I saw listed as foundational was like complete ass, bro. He kept arguing, well, you could just say, and that's true about anyone's fucking scaling. You could just say whatever. Like,
we finally know who wins between the man with the strength beyond the gods versus the man with the form the gods cannot reach. Because someone as strong as you
should know when you're completely outclassed.
What's up, guys? It's Divine.
Yo, back to the original topic, boys. Yo, like, no hate towards Divine, bro. His editing is fucking god tier. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I had to hit this guy up and ask who's fucking editing for him because it's pretty fucking fire. I ain't gonna lie. Look, getting into DC is fucking hard. There's a lot of comics to read to get into DC. All right, there is a lot of comics to get into DC. But if you're gonna be covering something, even though you're a YouTuber, you gotta have some general level of knowledge whenever it comes to that field. Okay, and you can't entirely rely on somebody else. And if you do, you need to acknowledge, hey, look, these are this guy's arguments. We're just going off what he's saying. I didn't see that here. He said, yo, Drip Sauce has got the DC cosmology shit on lock. Okay, you clearly felt really confident in his ability to scale here, like really confident. And there is some criticism to be laid to you, like, hey, maybe filter the people you feature on your channel a little bit better, or maybe do more research into what you're doing. But no hate towards him, because you know what, accidents happen, and from what I understand, maybe he's learned from this situation, and I hope he does learn from this situation from now on. Hey, yo, have your boy on. Yo, I'd gladly show up. I'd show up and do the best I possibly can to rep DC. I'm gonna hit you with the best shit I got imaginable. I would be considered, I think, compared to most people, like, on the higher ball side of things for DC. Mid to high ball is traditionally what I hear whenever people talk to me. But figures like Drip Sauce, dude, nobody takes the guy seriously. Like, legitimately. Nobody takes Drip Sauce seriously, nor his scaling. Because anybody who's spent any time inside DC, looks at what you're saying and says, dude, you are fucking insane. You can't just rely on Versus Battle Wiki as a crutch, because that's what you did. That 1C specification didn't come from fucking nowhere, okay? Like, relying on somebody else for a massive scaling video when you are this size, bro, you need to have a team of people. Like, I'll admit, my content, I will admit, I do all the fucking research for. I do all the fucking research. I read every fucking comic that my shit comes from. I rely on other solid people in that field in order to help me. But I don't rely on one for that exact reason. When you only have one person feeding you information on something you don't fucking know about, this is what happens. This is a prime example of what happens. Okay? So even when it's me, hit up somebody else. Check the source material. Just do something, some level of credibility beforehand. When you're talking to somebody, bring like, yo, for example, like JobberGodot, a fellow homie of the channel. I talked to him about like JoJo's content. Hell, I even helped form some of the JoJo's content, some of the scaling metas and stuff that existed in there. I'm not taking all the credit or anything like that, but I was at least present for some of that action to bounce ideas off and push things further. But it doesn't change the fact, at the end of the day after I talk to him, if I'm featuring him on the channel whenever it comes to that stuff, I'm probably running that by somebody else. Hey, do you think this is like fucking insane? If I was to make this argument, just a little extra bit can go so far in avoiding massive problems like this. The downside to major YouTubers is the fact that as a result of that, they can't make content as fast, so they don't make as much content. And that sucks. But guess what? That's the curse of being a content creator. When you try to skip corners and stuff, you rely on goons like Drip Sauce, and it doesn't go well afterwards, because then nobody wants to take you seriously. And I want to take Divine seriously, bro. I want to take this fucking editing seriously, bro. That shit was next gen. But let's refer to the comments, okay? The comments over here. I've ignored you guys too long. And don't forget, you're guaranteed to have your comment read with a super chat if you guys want to go ham in the super chat department. But we're also going to break away and just do other stuff too. If you guys have other questions about other things or anything along those lines, definitely let me know down low. Xeno and CC Goku stalemated manga. I still needed UI to beat Xeno in the anime. True. Oh my gosh, dude. This was like next gen. Bro, this is crazy. I'm like mind blown. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was pretty bad. I know I didn't listen to a lot of the Dragon Ball stuff, and I'm sure that triggered a lot of people. Sorry, boys. You don't see me cover a lot of different verses is because I am invested. DC is that large. Like, I want to master DC before moving on the others. And dude, both with a life and this is like, it's just a lot to cover absolutely every comic to see if you've missed absolutely everything. And the comics always have stuff coming out, which makes it even more difficult. And it's not just like one comic a fucking week, bro. It's like 18 a goddamn month, so that shit stacks fast. Yo, the most toxic community is the Dragon Ball community. Dragon Ball fans. Yo, Zora Luffy popping off over here. Yeah, most of Drip Sauce's arguments are defeated by reading the story. Okay, I'll admit, I do these Theromax attacks every once in a while, and I'll admit, like, I don't like getting violent like this with people. I don't like getting angry and heated and things along those lines. I really don't, dude. I genuinely try not to. But sometimes people will say some dumbass shit, and yo, my family comes out in me. The Theromax family line comes out in me, because we used to argue like this and get heated all the time. I'm not mad at them or anything. I'm heated in the moment, right? I'm heated for the arguments and shit, because I do like engaging with people whenever it comes to conversation like this. So I know it feels like I'm being really fucking hard on Drip Sauce, and I guess to a certain extent I am, because his arguments are garbage. But like, I just wanted to be abundantly clear to everyone. I don't hate Drip Sauce, and I think Drip Sauce can change, okay?